Here's the first volume in a new series, Marvel Creator Collection #1. And this is Barry Windsor-Smith at Marvel, Volume 1, as it says there. Back to the Savage Land, 384 pages, and, well, it's probably 386 maybe. Now, it's $49.99. I paid about £27 for it in the UK, and you can see there, beautiful, Fantagraphics, it's hardback, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I don't know how many volumes there will be, volume 2 or 3, I don't know. But this one doesn't include everything. So if you're expecting certain stories, they're not all in it from the start. So let's just go through the book. Also, later in the video, I will be showing some other examples of Barry Windsor-Smith's work. Obviously, examples that are relating to items in here as well. So let's just go through it. And I think it's just a quality book right from the start. It's matte, it's not glossy paper. So if you're expecting glossy, it's not like your standard Marvel ones. Now, obviously it's been cleaned up and all those kind of things, but still it looks really nice. I love the contents there. And you can see it straight away, lovely introduction. And you've got X-Men #53, first US art, it says there, February 1969. Now, it's not in order either. So there's some of the dates sort of go backwards and forwards a bit. But we've got the X-Men stories, Captain Marvel. Also, you can see Marvel Superheroes, #19. That was just a cover. Also, Nick Fury, really odd one there. And also Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. again, #12. Avengers 66, 67. They were really weird stories. That was the Ultron ones. And also these ones, which for me were the first ones I ever saw of his work. #98, 99, and 100 of Avengers. It was just one of those classic issues, that run of issues. Tower of Shadows, Tower of Shadows. Now, there is a bit of duplication, a lot of double dipping. So if you've got some of the earlier omnibuses, of course, you will have most of these stories, I'm quite certain. And also some of these other ones as well, Tower of Shadows, etc. Obviously, that material is available elsewhere. Chamber of Darkness. Also, Astonishing Tales. Now, they're in the Marvel Masterworks. Weirdly, there has never been, as far as I'm aware, of a Kazar omnibus or epic collections. I do not know why there's been a complete ignoring of those. But you've got here the lovely Astonishing Tales 6, there was a bit of a gap, then 10, Monsters on the Prowl, and also Iron Man 47, which I really loved as an origin story. And also, weirdly, issue 232, obviously they've included all the Iron Man stories there. So then on to, got another Iron Man on the next page. Then we've got Doctor Strange, I've seen about the dates, 1969, and also two of my mega favourites as well, Marvel Premiere 3 and 4. I really love those. Got a little bit of a notes here, and then onto the introduction, which of course gives lots of details about Forest Gate, London, an area I know fairly well. I used to go to the university there and also lived quite close to it as well. And you've got the Kazar there, Hell Hath No Fury. Talks about also Power Comics. Unfortunately, does not include any of those back pages. Perhaps they didn't know which ones were which, but they just didn't include them. Maybe there's a reason for not including them. But still, it's a pity. They mention it, but there's no real information. Nor is there an index. It would have been nice, or sort of a complete credits list of all of the various comics. Would have been great. But I guess, as it says, of Marvel, Power Comics not particularly being Marvel, obviously being the UK ones that sort of licensed them. So you've got here X-Men 53, Blaster. Now, not a favourite character of mine, but it's still an absolutely reasonable story. Now, the X-Men at this point was going for quite a weird phase. I think the stories, they were not really of the top quality. And, of course, later we had Neil Adams. Then suddenly it was really amazing. I love those Neil Adams ones. But still, they are of interest. The artwork is very unusual, very sort of Kirby-like in places. Now, of course, sometimes varies depending on the inker as well. You've also got the covers here. You've got here Captain Marvel, and obviously no story there, but you've got the cover and the Kazar here one. That one's #19 of Marvel Superheroes. So there's no actual work in here of Barry Windsor-Smith other than the cover. And then we got some S.H.I.E.L.D. One of my favourite S.H.I.E.L.D. stories. I love this one. This one's the Christmas one. Really great story, but he didn't do much with it. He just did. Obviously, you got the 3 pages. That's all they show. And then onto this. This one's a very weird one. Looks quite Steranko-like at times. It's got a very odd style of the graphics and angles and things. Very strange. But still, obviously Hydra appearing as usual in all these stories. And then onto this one. I'm really pleased they've included these. And they've included a few. Wherever Barry Windsor-Smith or Barry Smith is mentioned, they include this. And also you've got Betrayal. And of course the Avengers classic story, that one, love that one. The Ultron, again, the artwork was quite weird, not really what we came to later expect from Barry Windsor-Smith, but I still enjoyed it. But we got this, Avengers Assemble, again, another one of these letters pages, love a letters page. And you've got this, the Avengers, and Ares, of course, the coming of Warhawk, and the story and the art, very, very different. This was one of the weird ones for me, because I picked this up in a local newsagents, and it was just, they had 98, 99 and 100 altogether. But this was about 10 to a year later. It was suddenly surprising to find him. I thought, oh, wow, brilliant. And I, of course, didn't know who Barry Windsor-Smith at that point particularly was. So it was just great. And it's great artwork, great story. Of course, you've got appearance of a character that we haven't seen for a while because, of course, of the Kree Skrull War. And also Hercules turns up, and that's the next story here. Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hercules, whom the gods would destroy. Of course, you've got here Hawkeye there, and because of course he was Goliath at that point before that, and whatever gods there be. And the artwork's very strange here, very, very different. But of course, this is the classic one where they bring all of the various characters that were in the Avengers. They all come back for this absolutely mega story. I loved it, absolutely loved it at the time. And on to this one, The Demon That Devoured Hollywood. Now, I think this one has probably been recently reprinted, so some of them are probably, you might have seen already, so obviously there's going to be a bit of duplication. And of course, they've got this one. It's always great to see this included. Sword and the Sorceress. This is the Conan tryout one, and it was great at the time. I loved it. Absolutely superb. Just brilliant artwork. It goes sort of into the future, as you do. Why, I don't know, but obviously the dream sequence goes back, and then there is Star the Slayer, as it was called there. And then we go into these ones, which again, recently, I don't think there's been any reprints of these. I mean, obviously, it was the Marvel Masterworks. I always forget those. So it is nice to see. You've got astonishing males there, but you've got Kazar, Lord of the Jungle, back to the Savage Land. And I think the artwork was great. Really enjoyed the stories. And I think it's also got the first appearance of Mockingbird as well, though we do not know the name at that point in the story. However, we've got also weirdly out of place, I think. We've got an Avengers Assemble, which is odd. Just odd place. Why didn't they put it with the Avengers bit? Very strange. There's a few places like that, I think. Oh, why is that there? But this one, Desert Scream. And of course, here you can see Barry Smith is the inker. So he's not. But we have got this, which Barry Smith, the Iron Man origin story, number 47. I just absolutely love this one. Got this one when it came out, or a little bit later, I should say. So swears the Iron Man. It was just one of those issues that I loved. And as with many, of course, I regret getting rid of over the years. Don't know why I got rid of it, because what just a classic issue. So much better than the original origin story. I think just nicely, beautiful artwork told there. Obviously, we've got seeing the original armour, though, of course, he wasn't coloured at that point. It was, see, grey. And you got here this Iron Man story as well, which actually is very, very, very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The artwork is obviously a slightly later style, and it's just absolutely first rate. I just love this sort of style that he created here. And on to this, which was that one, next one, boom, there. And we've got another Iron Man story, the Invincible Iron Man, as it says there, and a Tigra as well. And what's next? Oh, Doctor Strange. So we've got Doctor Strange guest starring. Now, I did not realise that was Barry Smith, but when you look at it, I guess it is the weird style. That's very odd there. But still, you've got this brilliant Doctor Strange here. And While the World Spins Mad, masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. I just love that story. Wish they'd done a more. It's apparently based on R.E. Howard storyline. Well, the later bit anyway, onto the story continued on. But I always felt more Lovecraft, that sort of small sort of shadow over Innsmouth, that sort of thing. That's what I felt anyway. It's spawned of Sliggers. And it does say here, by featuring character, obviously concepts created by Robert E. Howard. But personally, I always felt more H.P. Lovecraft. But anyway, what do I know on that one? Possibly completely wrong. Certainly there's the various, obviously the community of people obviously in this small little town or village where things were obviously going a bit weird. And then on to this, following issues, etc., and we have got no, which is surprising, no inked pages. Really thought they would have added a few extras, maybe a few sort of examples of things. Of course, there's no Conan. No Conan. So if you're coming to this expecting Conan, there's no Conan. This book, totally recommended. It's a book I've been waiting for ages, and I'm really pleased I finally got it. I love his work. And now I'm just going to show you quite a few examples of various Barry Windsor-Smith books and comics that I've got. Size-wise, you can see here is some obviously comics of the period, and I'm just going to quickly, now I'm not probably going to find the ones that are of course here, but you can see the size. So let's just open this one. You can see there, it's a bit bigger, obviously just slightly bigger than the original. Now, these ones, of course, I absolutely love. These ones, of course, got the Barry Windsor-Smith stories. They were absolutely great. Now, that's another thing I would love to have seen, a few adverts. I always love this one, Marvel Goes Model, and model there. And you've got the Marvel checklist there as well. But this one, issue 3, I think that was the first one of the Barry Windsor-Smith. Yes, there it is, Barry Smith, as it says, penciler. Back to the Savage Land, really great story. Then also you've got number 4. And then on to number 5, you've got the Red Skull there. But of course, that storyline was not... Well, it's fine, obviously. That story's perfectly reasonable, but I was showing you for this one, Barry Windsor-Smith one. And this one's number 6. Apparently, also there was number 10, though I don't know if I got number 10. Probably have got it somewhere, but this one is, of course, the Ultron one. Again, Barry Windsor-Smith there. Very weird and wonderful art that was as well. I don't know if it's got some... Yes, well, just flick through the story there. Die, Avengers, die. Oh, got a hole through that. I never noticed that. However... This one, classic, Avengers number 98. So I've got number 98. And Hawkeye comes back. You've got all the various storyline there. You've got, obviously, there. Oh, pages falling out as well. There's nothing better than that, is there? All my comics have been read multiple times. This one, issue 66, of course, absolutely superb. Really brilliant Barry Windsor-Smith artwork again. And then on to Avengers number 99. Now, I haven't got 100. Wish I'd kept that. One of those ones, again, I slightly regret getting rid of, but you can't keep everything, can you? Or maybe you should, I don't know. But still, what we've got now is the Conan one. This one is, of course, none of the stories that are in the book feature Conan. Of course, now it's with Titan Comics. So Titan Comics, of course, before that, obviously, various other people, Dark Horse, etc. And we got here the stories which I love. Chamber of Darkness number 4 and Conan Barbarian 1 to 26. Savage Tales 1 and 4. And oh, I could have brought that one down as well. Forgot about Savage Tales. And you got here brilliant introduction. I love the introduction. This one, absolute masterpiece of an introduction. And then on to this one. You got, of course, the classic story here, Star the Slayer. And we never, of course, had any more adventures of Star the Slayer. Would have been nice. Maybe they should have continued on. What happened to Star the Slayer? But you, of course, got these absolutely superb stories. Tarot, Elephant, and many, many others as well. They were just great. Beware the Wrath of Anu, as it says. All new stories. And what does it say there? Before Conan, there was Kull the Conqueror. Obviously, they include Kull there as well. Love the Kull stories. Dweller in the Dark, and so on. Now, there's also, of course, some Gil Kane, etc. in here, but there's also a lot of extras. One of the probably best omnibuses as far as I was ever concerned. Now, I've got this one, which is not the world's greatest condition, but still a brilliant book. This one, The Studio, of course, part of the Studio there. Now, of course, I'm going to, when I flick through this, I'm going to probably show you things that other artists as well, as always the way. So let's just quickly find the Barry Windsor-Smith stuff. And always the way when you can't find it. There it is, Barry Windsor-Smith. So you've got some Barry Windsor-Smith stuff there. I loved his artwork. Now, I got this fairly late. It was one of those books that I remember when it came out, it was quite expensive. I remember thinking, oh, I really would love to buy that. and I never got it. But luckily, a copy of this turned up, and I thought, you know what, I'll buy it. And it was quite cheap as well, which I was over the moon about. So, great set of artwork there. The studio, and it's got Jeffrey Jones, of course, Michael Cluter, Barry Windsor-Smith, and Bernie Wrightson. An absolutely superb book. Can't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't very much. This one, Monsters. This is a very recent one, of course. Absolute masterpiece. Not for everyone, perhaps, but certainly it's a gruesome book, but full of truly brilliant artwork. I loved it. Absolutely loved this book. Of course, it's in black and white. Really see his artwork all the way through. Masterpiece. Absolutely superb one. This one, who's it by? It's vintage. There's part of vintage graphic novel there. £25. It says the year is 1964. And on to this one, which I love. This one is a Past Perfect special. I really enjoy lots of these ones, Past Perfect specials, as well as Past Perfect ones they do. This one's got, of course, Conan, all the way through Conan. So lots of Barry Windsor-Smith in this one. Discusses, of course, all of the brilliant artwork, as well as the stories, as well as, of course, given there a good old map, as well as there the Talons of Thack. And some more examples of, one of my favourite ones, Conan one there, the Green Empress of Melnamone. Don't know how you say that. But anyway, however you say it, on to this one, the Black Hound of Vengeance. Classic again, Rogues in the House. This one, obviously, a coverless one. And what issue is number 11? So, number 11, absolutely brilliant again. Thack, good old Thack there. And on to this one, of course, the Elric story. Brilliant. Loved the Elric story there. Would have been nice if they continued, had a few more Elric appearances, but still, we got that one. And on to another Conan one. Now, I don't know what one this one is, The Monster of the Monoliths. You can see there yet more brilliant artwork. And on to another one, which is probably one of my all-time favourites. This one, The Night of the Frost Giants, issue 16. Even got it in a miler bag. Don't have many of my comics in miler bags, but this one I definitely do because it's just brilliant. Not that it's survived in great condition, but still, I think it just looks nicer when it's in a bag like that. And on to another one, The Coming of Elric. This is number 14, a sword called Stormbringer. But as mentioned, none of those appear in the book. Oh, another one. Got a few Conans there. Number 4, that was a brilliant one. And of course, the classic one there, issue 24. Again, another miler bag because it's so good. And on to Elric. Epic Illustrated. No, I don't think I paid £2 for it. I probably paid a bit more for it. But still, this one, of course, special interview with Barry Windsor-Smith, and I probably can't find it. So just quickly flick. Oh, there it is. There's the artwork all the way through there. Barry Windsor-Smith. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Very, very stunning artwork. Great cover as well. Also, I've got this, which, of course, another one. I might quickly probably have to edit this because I will not find it straight away. I finally found it. Here it is. Medusa. This is Barry Smith. Now, I really hope... Now, I probably got that one, actually, thinking about it. Marvel Collector Items Classic, number 21. You can see there, Barry Windsor-Smith and Medusa. I hope this is included in perhaps volume 2 because I couldn't see it in volume 1. I just absolutely love that. That's just an absolutely brilliant one of Medusa. So this one is in the Marvel Pinups one, which is one of my favourite books, I must admit. I love this one, Craig Yo. Here's a more recent one, and there's a number of these ones, I imagine, so I haven't got them, but I've got this one, Collector Items. This is issue 1 of The Storyteller and Young Gods, etc. So you can see there some more absolutely lovely freebooters there, Barry Windsor-Smith artwork as well, and another story there, I think. And look at that. That is just pretty epic artwork there. And onto the Kazar cover. Now this one, of course, mentioned, does not feature any of his artwork, I don't think. But all we got is, of course, that superb cover. And I bought these a while back, media scenes. So let's just move those out of the way before they all fall over each other. And this one, I think, is one of my favourite ones, the media scene. And it's got some absolutely lovely Barry Windsor-Smith artwork, as well as some other artwork as well. So this one is just, oh, there it is. Barry Windsor-Smith there. Mentions, obviously, Barry Windsor-Smith there and thing. But it's just great, lovely black and white artwork. and another media scene as well. And the reason for this is also it features this. Obviously, there was lots and lots of these sort of things, poster ones or Fantastic Islands and various other ones. Barry Smith in the days of King Arthur. I haven't got any of those. I imagine they are very hard to get now, probably very expensive as well. Obviously, the classic Frankenstein, Brightson as well. And finally, for going back to the book, you got here, The Miraculous Magneto. Now, this isn't Barry Smith. Doesn't look like Barry Windsor-Smith's artwork. It's possible that it is, but I don't think it is. Apparently, he did a number of various pin-ups for Terrific and Fantastic, or maybe just for Fantastic, I do not know. But apparently there's a few, and I have seen some when I've gone through them in various comic marts and things. I've looked and, oh, you know what, that looks like Barry Smith. But this one I do not think looks like Barry Windsor-Smith. And apparently I don't read that. It sounds like he also did various things, because we had other things, obviously, where artwork was from, the issue was split. So you would have a sort of a thing that someone else would draw the artwork, and sometimes in these things. So I guess there was, maybe I'm misreading that, so don't hold me on that one. But that was a possible one, that he also did some other artwork, but he certainly did some of the back ones, which is a pity I haven't got any examples to show you. So this volume, will you be buying this? Back to the Savage Land, Volume 1. I think it's just great. I'm really pleased that they brought this out. Now, as mentioned, there's a lot of double dipping, of course. I'm certain if you've got the Avengers omnibus, you got the Daredevil, well, obviously Daredevil wasn't in this one, but the X-Men one, Iron Man, etc., Doctor Strange even, all those ones, you will have these stories already. But there's a few that perhaps, like the Chamber of Darkness, that perhaps you might not have, but certainly there will be, of course, quite a bit of overlap with existing collections. But I still think it's an absolutely lovely, lovely volume. And if you can get it for obviously a reasonable price, I think it's just really great. And so I'm really pleased they're bringing these collections out. I wonder if they'll bring out other artists. Please put in the comments below if you're going to get this book, or if you've got it, of course. Also, other artists you would love to see in this format. Now, obviously, there's going to be some Sal Buscema. There's going to be perhaps Gil Kane, Bill Everett. There's loads of artists. Now, the obvious suspects will never happen. I suspect you're not going to get, obviously, a Jack Kirby collection like this, because the Jack Kirby collection would be a huge volume set and will be a lot of overlap with others. But it's really good that, and there's other obvious ones, Gene Colan, Romita, etc., that I suspect would never get a treatment like this. But they've got lots of their own collections and things that already. So this one, I absolutely love it. Really pleased that Fantagraphics and Marvel have brought this out. So I will definitely be getting Volume 2, which I assume will contain, let's say, maybe some additional posters. Obviously another introduction. That's always the trouble in these volumes. Do they put new material in the introduction, or is it going to be the same introduction in the Volume 2? And also whether, see things like Daredevil and other stories that perhaps haven't been reprinted are included in that set of volumes. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a Volume 3 as well. I don't know how much material, how many stories he actually created for Marvel. But I'm pleased with this one anyway. So this one, Marvel, came out in 2026. I just got that right. And it's from Fantagraphics. Oh, ISBN number, people always ask for that. The ISBN number is 979, that's weird, isn't it? 979, I was going to say 978. It's 979 8 8750 0152 9. Are they running out of numbers then? The 979, or is there some reason for that? Anyway, whatever. That is the number according to that. If you found that book of interest, well, here's another review about another brilliant book, The Doctor Strange Master of the Mystic Arts.